What is up, Sagittarius gang? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name's Annie. We're going to read your tarot cards here. This will be a general monthly tarot reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Of course, everyone and anyone is welcome into this reading. I just ask you come in with an open heart, an open mind, desire to learn something new, to better yourself. That's what we typically like to use tarot for here, at least on my channel. If the messages that come through do not resonate with you, feel free to push them aside or possibly revisit them at another date. Sometimes tarot messages that come through tend to make more sense in the future. So again, just be open to that. That's my spiel. Let's try and have some fun. Just a friendly reminder, you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is optional advice and guidance. Try and get you some helpful, hopefully happy, inspiring messages here. I just did a Cancer reading. It was kind of a buzzkill. They're going through it. So let's switch to some positive Jupiterian Sagittarius energy. What can I tell my Saggy gang? For Sagittarius, here we go. And we are going to talk about love and money, so yeah, hopefully I'll remember to timestamp. But you want to talk about love. Let's talk about those lovers. Looks sexy, Sag. Looks very sexy. It is a card of Gemini, and you have the Three of Cups. Awesome. So this card is called Abundance and the Lovers. So I suppose this could mean trying on different people, seeing which one suits you. But I actually don't see it that way. I think it's... Every now and then the Three of Cups can be a reunion. So there's a small chance there could be a reunion with a Gemini. I actually think this is you finding someone that feels very real and authentic. Something, I don't like to overuse the word soulmate, but dangerously close to that, if you will. And it could be that it felt like multiple people were sort of vying for your attention or, I don't know, wanting something from you. Not in an overly aggressive way, but it almost feels like you kind of had your pick of a few, but you've chosen one, and so the rest you just kind of push to the sideline. But I think you're very happy, or you're going to be with whatever this is. The lovers can also be an important choice or decision, right? The twins, the duality. So you may have made some sort of executive decision in your life to start anew or to celebrate something or to, rejoice or do that thing that brings you this lighthearted, fun, bubbly energy. And it's like when you stick to your guns and keep yourself honest and consistent in choosing happiness and choosing avenues that bring you joy and abundance, you reap the rewards of that. This is actually a kick-ass way to start a reading. Whew, I love it. And before I speak too soon, we're going to get the Nine of Swords, right? No, I'm not going to put it in the universe. Tell me more about this. If you are single and looking, I could also interpret this as you have your sights set on one, and if for some reason that is stuck and not moving, like out of your control, like let's say this person isn't available to you or whatever, I will say just know that you do seem to have a lot of suitors circling around you right now. All right, so there's the devil. So I'm going to be honest, though. The devil every now and then can be very like, it can just be sexuality, right? Pleasures of the body. Maybe you're doing some, maybe you're trying on some new stuff in the bedroom, the whips and the chains. It doesn't have to be that, of course. It could also just simply be a Capricorn, right? You have Gemini, Capricorn, maybe some Cancerian energy here, but I'm definitely getting those two pretty strong. The devil can sometimes feel like you're shackled to something. It can be a card of fear. It can be a card of, being so stuck in it where you start to lack that vision or you start to lack the sort of, the larger picture, right? Saturn is very constricting and sort of, it can be a little bit oppressive. It's kind of the opposite energy of your ruling planet, Sag, Jupiter, which is very expansive and forward thinking and futuristic and, joyous. Saturn is like, oh no, we got to put in the work. This is serious. We can't leave. We've committed ourselves to it. But okay, the more I look at this though, I do think it's asking you that, especially if you are sort of in the throes of love and you think you found someone that maybe you're considering like a serious commitment with or a long-term partnership, marriage, whatever you're into, I think it's reminding you, make sure you commit to making sure that this is a good time for everyone. That's like a clunky way of phrasing it, but committing to your happiness is an important lesson so you don't get sort of stuck in those overwhelming thoughts or the fear of, oh my God, well, one person for the rest of my life, how could I possibly do that? It's not making a monster out of this commitment. Saturn is all about commitment and responsibility, but over time you reap the rewards of that. And I think that's what this is. I mean, the damn card says abundance. So don't let like the fear of what this is going to turn into spook you. And like any, healthy marriage, relationship, friendship, whatever, yeah, you have to put in the work, but you know that, right? That's not news, and not everything can be lighthearted and fun and games. I think it's saying a healthy balance. It's what's going to help this succeed. I actually do like those cards very much. All right. Anything else I need to tell Sag about this? What's going on here? Let's see. Blended pleasure. The Four of Cups. I think this is a Moon and Cancer card. Getting more in touch with your emotions. And then the King of Cups. All right, Sag, what's going on here? Let's see. So the Three of Cups can sometimes be confusion about one's feelings or trying to go deeper into one's feelings to understand them. It's a card that really encourages us to practice good emotional intelligence and not make huge executive life decisions, long-term decisions based on small feelings that might sort of be clouding our judgment, right? It's one thing to listen to your intuition, right? It's another to act on like, oh my God, well, what if I never find love and this is the only person that will ever love me? Okay, I guess I'm going to be with them, right? There's a difference there. Trust your intuition, but make sure you're putting yourself in environments, healthy situations where you're feeding off of positivity and good energy and not, in your dark room listening to emo music after you've cried for hours. And, you know what I mean? Like, make sure you're giving yourself the most advantageous position to make healthy decisions. Of course, check in with your emotions. I'm a water sign. I'm going to tell you to do that anyway, right? But make sure you're not drowning in those emotions and therefore like submitting to fear or anxieties about some sort of love connection that I think could be or is very positive. Yeah, there's something here, though, that you're questioning, and I do think it has to do with long-term commitment. It could be that if you've been dating someone for a while, it might feel like it's getting more serious, which is not a bad thing, but I think you might be feeling the strain or the pressure of, okay, well, do we take this to the next level? Should there be proposals or engagements? Well, what do you think? What does your heart tell you? That's a good time to check in with your emotions, right? Not just the logic of, oh, well, we've been together X months or X amount of years, so that means we have to, that's society. That's sort of, in my humble opinion, the negative form of Saturn is this expectation, these limitations, this structure that you must abide by, like, that's Saturn. You're Jupiter, right? You're like, I shouldn't say that. I may have some very traditional Sagittarians out there, but typically you're meant to expand beyond limitations. That's what I would say. So do it because you want to, because it feels right, because it makes you and your partner happy, versus doing it for the wrong reasons because there's expectation of family around you or expectation of, I suppose, this could resonate at your job. Maybe you're committing to a partnership at your job or whatever, right? Some of you're getting cold feet because it's almost like you feel like you don't quite measure up. That's also what I get from this. Again, it's fear sort of poisoning or souring the well, whatever the term is. Oh my goodness, they just fell all over the floor. Hold on, Sag, I gotta get them. You had 4 cards fall. All right, Ace of Swords. I'm gonna show them to you. Oh my God, making me get off my ass. Come on. No, that's good for me. So Ace of Swords, 7 of Wands, 3 of Swords, and 4 of Pentacles. Okay. Well, let me move those so you can kind of see them. There we go. It came out on the floor. What's with that? So I almost take that as a message of like, we need to ditch that. And I think that's true. The thoughts, the ideas, the mental energy and strain of being defensive against heartbreak or holding on to the idea that you're going to let people down or that you're feeling strained or oppressed to commit to something or to hold on to something, but it doesn't necessarily feel right. There's no cups here, right? There's no emotion or intuition checking in here. There's a lot of like mental energy, which makes sense. You're kind of a higher octave of Gemini, right? Which rules the mind. That's why I say that. Okay, here's what I get from this. Holding on to what you know to be true and not considering what is the word? I'm like dancing around it. Whatever this is, it's starting to bleed into your relationship, but it's not based on reality. It's fear. It's this projection of what could happen or what could be, but there's no sense in giving power to those thoughts if they're not here and provable and true. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like blocking. There's a very important idea here or concept, a truth from the universe, a communication to you, Sagittarius, on like a soul level, to block out past heartbreak or past mistakes that like you're still holding against yourself, things in the past that didn't go right that you might actually be projecting into the future, things that you've like married or committed yourself to of, oh, well, I'm always going to be this way and it's only a matter of time before they find out. Or, you know, I always link up with people who break my heart and this seems so good, but I know it's doomed. I know it's fated because, you know, people always screw me over. It's like you're holding on to things that aren't good for you, but they're not even based in reality. They're not practical, earthly, tangible things. So you have to go on what's in front of you right now. And again, that's when you kind of check into your intuition, your feelings, your heart space, because that's what's going to guide you. I know you guys know, like Sagittarius is like a super, in my opinion, like psychic, intuitive sign anyway. But yeah, you start to get those little red flags sometimes when someone says or does something. You're like, oh, that's kind of odd. That's out of character. I don't really see that happening. I see this going in a positive direction. I'm going to say it. It feels a little self-sabotagey. It feels like this could be something really good, and maybe it's trying to grow and progress, but it's like your Saturn is kicking in and you're like, uh-oh, red alert. You know, like, it doesn't even have to be marriage, but I don't know, maybe it's putting a title on it or putting a label on it or moving in together. There's some sort of big step where you're being asked to step up, and it does involve your heart space a bit, but that's what I mean. I think you're questioning if you're capable of it, or if this represents your person, it's like you're questioning, like, well, why me? Like, what is the real truth here? And there might be like a question of self-worth issues. Any healthy relationship needs to be able to transform and grow. So if it's stuck and stagnant, but I get it though. It's like you're wanting to hold on to the honeymoon phase forever, and because that's so fun, right? Everything's new and fresh, and there's, you know, you guys are learning about each other and exploring things and doing all the fun stuff, but like that can't last forever. That's where Saturn comes in, and it's helpful because it's like we have to establish some sort of structure of how we're going to make this work over time, right? You know, Capricorn is a fantastic energy because they're the businessman. They build the empires, they build the buildings. It's earth, it's concrete, it's matter, it's lasting, right? You need that if you want a lasting relationship. And I mean, just, you know, devil's advocate, pun intended, maybe some of you aren't ready for that. Maybe, you know, if you're coming off of a long-term relationship, you're like, I just want to have fun, but now this person's coming at me with, you know, are we going to get married or this or that? And so I'm not saying either narrative is right or wrong. And I mean, again, the message stands. You have to listen to your gut, trust your intuition. If you're not ready for that, then an honest conversation is needed, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable. I could see that too. Someone might be avoiding an uncomfortable situation. But I don't know. I also think I don't always love the Four of Pentacles because sometimes it can be sort of like misery or holding on to things to have like a false sense of security. I don't sense that here. I just don't. I kind of like this Four of Pentacles. I almost see this as someone is so quick to drop something and let it go because the responsibility, the seriousness of it starts to kick in. And yeah, that's not always fun, but it doesn't mean it's worth throwing this away. That's what I think this is. I think this is contemplative. I think things are getting to the next step, and it's a different dynamic. That's what I mean, Scorpio energy with the King of Cups. It is transforming, but I think it's transforming into something really nice. But that's up to you how you want to take it. That's what I see here. I don't see this as doomed or bad. I think open up the channels of communication for honesty, which hopefully have already, you know, been established, right? In any lasting connection, you have to be able to speak your truth. yeah, someone is, and maybe this is both parties in a different way. Someone's definitely fearful of getting their heart broken, or the opposite, fearful of making a mistake that they feel like they can't get out of, that they're like shackled to. So, the King of Swords. Yeah, you need to practice emotional intelligence. You have 2 fixed kings coming up, so like Aquarius, envisioning a future, that's really important here. But again, Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn, not just Uranus. So like, there is a certain amount of responsibility to this group dynamic, right? The relation, or the couple in this relationship. But then Scorpio is very committed, you know, especially in long-term romantic partnership. Dedicated, loyal, that's a big word for Scorpio. All right, what is the final advice I can give? And then we're going to switch up stories. Judgment. And the Emperor. Yeah, I think, yeah. The Emperor builds empires. That's what I mean with this Saturn energy. It is getting serious, but I think if there is a mutual interest and both parties want to continue to pursue this, there might be, I don't even think an awkward conversation, but it's a very serious conversation about the future. And so if you can face that head on and be brave, I actually think this could transform into something even bigger and even stronger and even greater. Again, if there's mutual interest. But if it ends with the Emperor, I do kind of like that. I think one or both of you have a very strong streak of independence. So this whole kind of extreme partnership, I don't know, maybe some of you are fearing codependency either from yourself or the other person, but I think you'll still be able to have your own life and your own independence, and I think that's important, and still be a kick-ass couple at the end of the day. Anyway, that's my reading of it. You definitely have Gemini, you definitely have Capricorn, you definitely have Aries, a lot of Scorpio energy here, and I mean, keep in mind, it could be any sign, but those ones are really coming through, so... All right, guys, let's talk about money and career. I suppose we will do that now. Oh, I can't reach my cards. There we go. All right, let's talk about career, money, finances, interviews, loans, payouts, anything that wants to come through regarding Sagittarius's livelihood and money and all those good things. What is a message they need to hear? And I know if you're like a single Sag and looking, that last message probably was a little bit muddled. If I have time, I'll try and do a singles at the end. We'll see. But maybe that's what's to come. All right, regarding money. 7 of Pentacles. All right, so something is in assessment, especially if you started some new project or endeavor. You probably didn't reap the rewards you thought you would immediately. This almost, again, this almost feels like the end of a honeymoon situation at like a new job or on a new project or with a new team or whatever. It's not bad though. I want to encourage you. It is a money card, so already I'm encouraged. To me, typically the 7 of Pentacles is like the first time, or maybe, I don't know. I'm just going to finish my thought as the airplane flies overhead. Sorry about that. The first time you've encountered like a major struggle or obstacle in your career path, at least like on your, again, like your current project or whatever newish endeavor you're involved in. Maybe something got handed over to you and you had to take it on, and it's not going the way you thought it would, and it is requiring a little bit more of your energy, or I don't know if it's outside the box thinking. I actually think that's going to be the solution, is adding some sort of new innovative way of doing it. But it also is a card that says be patient, because just because what you're seeing now seems like the final result, or you know, it seems to be fated or pointing you in the direction of how it's going to go, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think this will get better over time, but with any kind of Saturn Capricorn energy, you have to put your back into it, right? It's not just going to be a snap my fingers and it works. You are going to have to kind of work with the material at hand and maybe restructure, reorder, reorganize. And I think you will get the success of it eventually, but it's going to be a slower process than I think you imagined. The Knight of Wands. Yeah, put your passion into it, Sagittarius. This is your card, and it's literally headed It's funny. I actually think some of you may have been brought on board to a project to actually save it or repair it because you have that special something and people know it. It's like you bring a spark of magic into whatever you do, or creative solutions, or outside the box thinking, or there's something about you where you have the solution to help make this better. I think these people lack creativity, and I don't just mean creativity in like the artistic sense, but again, like outside the box thinking, or introducing or injecting something new into the formula, for lack of a better term. You're going to bring a much needed breath of fresh air that starts to reap bigger rewards. It feels a little bit stuck and people are questioning things, and I don't know, people are just like, I'm getting this image of people just like walking around scratching their heads like, oh my God, well, do we scrap it entirely? Like this isn't working. Some of you are experiencing like crazy tech issues at work, or you built like a system, or you implemented new technology, and it's just like, I don't want to say it's failing, but it's more of a hassle than accomplishing what it was supposed to. I don't think this is like nail in the coffin. Unless we get the 10 of Swords here, so we'll look. But I just have a feeling this is the smoke will clear and you will be able to fix this. And even if it's not solely you, you're going to help implement some new idea that brings this back to life, or gets it back on track. King of Cups. Guys. You got that big dick energy. Go in with clarity, go in with confidence. And I also think that the King of Water, the King of Cauldrons in this, he's in tune with his emotions, but again, he's not letting erratic or false truths or false emotions guide him. I will say he is rather compassionate. He's rather considerate for the group dynamic, because I think whatever this is, the decision or the solution impacts many people's bank accounts, right? It's not just you. So there's a level of authority that you have, even if you're just a middleman, but it's almost like a ripple effect when you throw a stone into the stream or the lake. Like, your decisions and the way you go at this impacts many people. So I don't know why, but to me, it's reminding you to be compassionate and considerate of those around you. And I don't mean to offend or insult. Like, yes, confidence is key here, but there's something about don't let this go to your head. That's sort of what I get here. Like, don't get started on like an ego trip of, oh, well, I fixed this, so now I'm entitled to X, Y, and Z. You know, you're ruled by Jupiter. Odds are you're going to get compensated quite well for this, or you're going to reap the reward in it somehow. But allowing this to go to your head, it's just not there yet. And I mean, I think that's depicted too, just simply by the hierarchy of cards. Like, you're starting out as the Knight of Wands here. You're bringing King of Cauldrons energy. So I will say this is possibly something that could lead to a promotion later down the line, but it's almost like you have to prove the skills there first. I also think this is saying, know that more eyes are watching than you think, but that's a good thing. That's not something to be scared of. But someone is like, I don't know, keeping track on this or keeping a pulse on this, like, you know, eye in the sky type of thing. And I think it will work out in your benefit and your favor. So, you know, don't shy away from this. You know, if you're called to step up to the plate, you should absolutely do it, because I think you're going to be really glad you did. But even with this Knight of Wands, there's an element of annoyance in how slow the process is. So some of you are almost taking on this, like, not my monkey, not my circus. Like, I don't want anything to do with this. Like, I didn't like this idea from the start. Like, I knew it wasn't going to work. And yet here I am being called to go in and fix it. Yeah, I that's exactly what I see here. So in a sense, it's like your intuition was right. But I would try and look at this as a blessing in disguise, because maybe this whole thing was, you know, a disaster or a shit show, or a smaller version of that, you know, a disappointment, because this is the universe sort of prepping you for that opportunity to come in, you know, more or less knight in shining armor, right? That's kind of my Knight of Wands, or I kind of call the Knight of Wands my Indiana Jones. You know, he swoops in on the rope and he saves the girl and this and that. But that's what I mean. Whatever you're doing for this project, you're coming in and making it alive again. I think that's a really good word. You're making it alive again. And you're going to be glad you did, even though it's a bit of a pain in the ass. All right, we're going to move away from this. I know I'm hammering it home. Anything else on this King of Cups? Yeah, you're going to be ready to receive after this. Something's going to fill your cup. It's going to make you very happy. Yeah, there could be discussion of a new promotion. There's some sort of victory or it's like a triumph. It could even, I don't know what this would be, but it's like you get good reviews. Somebody writes about it, or you get like your, yes, exactly. My phone dings. Somebody writes about this, or you get, a plaque on the wall, you get employee of the month, you get some sort of major recognition. And it's something about like it's finalized, like it's in ink. It could lead to a new contract. It gives you a more powerful position at the company or in this team, in this group, in this. And I mean, even if you are like an entrepreneur, again, I'm not exactly sure how that would relate, but that's up to you. If it's your message, it's your message. But this gives you like the mighty sword. It gives you the mighty pen. I say that because of writing and ink and contracts. You're held in very high regard after this. Especially if you feel like you're at a job where it's just been redundant and you're not really, it feels very stagnant, like you're not able to achieve or progress. That's about to change. That's absolutely what I get there with that. What is this? What is this about? Yeah, your money gets better and you're given more opportunities for growth. There's like a strong reaction of your boss or superior or of the people of your clients where you start garnering new views or new attention, new eyes are on you, and people are wanting to give you their money. And there's something very convincing about you too. That feels very Sagittarian. It's like people hear how you're explaining it or how, quote unquote, preaching. And it's like, oh yeah, like, I think I agree with that. Like you get people on board very quickly. I don't know if you're making some sort of public speech or I don't know if you're a teacher or an educator or doing something with your words, your voice. Your mind is very powerful right now and influential. That's a very big word here. You start to influence other people based on your actions and how you handle yourself in this situation. And I mean, I know this is such like a blanket phrase, but like, don't be immature about this. Be cognizant and considerate of what, yes, that's important too, as my phone dings. Be cognizant and considerate of, what your superior would want. And I'm not saying you have to follow it by code or by the book per se, because I think something about what makes you, Sagittarius, and unique is actually very much what's needed. So maybe bending the rules like a little bit, but being very aware that you are being monitored, but in a way that works out to your benefit, just go in and fucking crush it, Sag. That's what I get for you here. King of Coins is an excellent money card. Strength, Ace of Swords, like this is... And Seven of Shields, the Seven of Pentacles, it's not a bad card. It just means delays, struggles, frustrations, and things not going exactly as you thought. But again, like Saturn is there to make you work, to make you responsible, to make you commit to this project that you agreed to be on board with. And you're going to transform and change it, right? Scorpio energy into something very powerful. Or some sort of powerful connection comes from this. And even if you aren't totally stoked or happy on this project, this job, whatever you achieve here gets you recognized and noticed that possibly opens doors to other avenues of money, okay? Damn, Sag, that was a good one. I think you got the best career reading so far. All right. I like that. I like that very much. I want to do one more for the singles. All the single ladies. Or single men, whoever out there is watching. All right, let's do it. For my single Sages or people who are not in that first storyline of like a committed relationship that's getting more serious. We'll see. We'll see. The Nine of Wands. You're blocking someone out. You're like, oh, hell no. So you may have what I'm hearing is booty chasers. What does that even mean? You got booty chasers. Is that like booty calls? People who are chasing you? But you know their game. I think you've made the same mistake before, or I don't want to call it a mistake, but you've realized it's not what you want, and you're very determined to be like, no, not happening. Eight of Pentacles, especially a coworker. So for some of you, it might not even be that there's been physical activity with that person. It could be that someone at work is kind of making eyes at you or saying inappropriate things, and you're just like, absolutely not. Like, I don't want you to affect my ability to, work or get, whatever. You're shutting it down. You're focused on your work too. Some of you might not be super interested in dating or pursuing romantic connections because you're really involved in something with work. And I mean, that would make sense with our last reading too. What else? Some of you are started to date someone, but you're not feeling it because they're too serious. They take life too seriously. Might be a Virgo or a Capricorn. Ooh, but things are changing. Let's see. Is this the same person though? Hold on. No, I don't think it is. I think this is a new opportunity. It's a totally like different caliber of person, or however I want to say it. Yeah, so someone you're introduced to someone who in a sense feels very opposite or very different from you, but there's an immediate attraction. The idea of like opposites attract. Now, this person may come from money. Their family might be very wealthy, or just have I don't know, some sort of status, or I don't know, there's something, I'm hearing the word like lush, I don't know, with the Empress, which is, you know. Tell me one more thing. I don't really know why that's important. I guess it's just a, you know, oh, what is the word? I don't know. I completely lost my words there. Confirmation. All I could think of was clue. I don't know what their wealth or their status has to do with this. They could be involved in politics in some way. I don't know what that has to do with it, other than it would be a confirmation for one or two of you that maybe it's your person. R-O-T-A. T-O, or no, T-A-R-O. Tarot? Oh, there we go. Some or one of those letters might be significant. I was reading what's on the little Ferris wheel there. All right, could be a Cancer. It could be someone who you go on like a mini trip with. Yeah, there's very important ties to the family here. With the Empress, it's a mother card. Frequently she's shown pregnant, so it's possible someone may have a child from another marriage. It doesn't have to be. The Empress is also connected to Venus, so that's a planet of wealth and luxury. There's definitely some, like, money stuff going on here. It could just be that they have a very important position at their job. And then the Taurus energy comes through very strongly with the Empress. Maybe Libra. And then the Chariot is Cancerian energy. The Chariot is about moving forward with, again, these opposites. This black and this white horse. I almost sort of get this message of like what is that phrase? Like the dark horse in the race, or it's like the surprise factor, not the underdog, but is that the right phrase? The dark horse. It's like you don't expect it to come through, but it does. And I actually think for some of you, it's almost like the reward after a difficult thing where you had to set better boundaries for yourself of not letting people into your life that don't add positive things. Some people, it's like I'm hearing the word, they keep you grinding. Like it's not fun, like grinding your teeth, or like you were settling or putting up with shit that was like well below you. When you start to set healthier boundaries, this comes in as like a new relationship where, I don't know, just it feels nice. It feels really fun. Well, tell me more about this. There's a strong connection to the family, but I don't know what that means. And again, there's something about different, okay, this makes sense in Sagittarius, like different sides of the world, or different opposite sides of the globe, or I don't know, there could even be like a language barrier, or there's something foreign. That's a good word. It doesn't have to be like literally a different country, but there's something different or foreign about this person that's equally intriguing. And there's something funny about the happenstance of how you meet. Like, I don't necessarily think it's a dating app or through a mutual friend. It's sort of like this, something unexpected. It could have been during travel. You could have met them at like an airport or at a hotel, or you have two very strong cards of travel. And the Two of Wands. All right. Okay, I actually like this. I almost get this idea. You're teetering on the edge of like asking them out because you don't want to. There's something just very fun and lighthearted and easy about this, but I almost think that the timeline is very narrow. Like, you know, if you're going to ask them out, it has to be very soon because they're leaving on a jet plane. This sounds like a song. It's fun nerves though. It's like butterflies in the tummy because it just feels kind of fun and electric. Yeah, you might even be invited to go on like a short trip with them too. Oh God, this makes I just watched The Tinder Swindler. Did you guys watch that on, I don't know, whatever it was, Hulu or Netflix? Yeah, don't do that. Don't be the Tinder swindler or get swindled. But anyway, I don't know. This is like super random. I know it's not for everyone, but there's an electricity in the air about this connection. Again, it's happenstance. I don't think you can plan this. You know, if you're looking for love, by all means, go out looking for it, but it's going to happen unexpectedly for you. I can't advise you like go here or go there or try this, because it's written in a way that's just very happenstance. You were at the right place at the right time, but I actually think this looks great. Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor, the Chariot, the Eight of Wands. I don't even mind the Two of Wands, because it's like walking a tightrope, but it almost feels like it's sexual tension. Or it maybe not sexual, but like there's that, you know, that feeling when you like someone, like you want to say and do the right thing, but like there's also a sense of safety. Like you don't feel like you have to perform or be inauthentic. It's just like that, who's going to say it first or who's going to ask who out. My phone dinged again. Yeah, I would say take it slow, like breathe with the Two of Wands, because as you can see, like this is kind of a cute deck. She's like on the tightrope, but I think it's like this. I keep getting sort of like sexual metaphors here, like before, how do I phrase it appropriately? That like build up, right? Before the huzzah moment, right? You get what I'm saying there? I think this could be a lot of fun. I'm going to leave you with that, Sagittarius. So if you're single and looking, or you got your eyes set on someone and it's feeling like this, I would say enjoy this. It looks very nice, okay? That's what I got for y'all. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. I hope you have a beautiful Pisces season. And I'll see you soon, hopefully. Bye, Sagittarius.